Every recipe begins before the first ingredients goes in, before the measurements, before the instructions. There's always a moment when you don't yet know if it will work, but you start anyway. Before the framework, before the policies, before the hard work, okay, that goes in, there is this one decision, and that decision is what made you say yes. What was the spark that got you onto the inclusive hiring platform?
During my undergraduate in NUS, I get in touch with different volunteer groups that reach out to different groups of people, elderly, youth at risk. I thought I could give back after I graduate, and also friends around me who have interacted with people with special needs or having siblings with special needs. I thought that there's a lot more potential for them to shine in our society.
Was there ever a time when you felt inclusion was non-negotiable?
So because For Coffee is designed with inclusion in mind, and because we did it from scratch, it actually makes things a lot easier along the way to design around how do we work with people with special needs and people with disabilities. The hypothesis is that with increased interaction, social stigma towards people with special needs will be reduced. Right from the start, inclusion is non-negotiable, and that was the idea behind For Coffee.
Awesome.
I guess my very first interaction with PWDs was where I volunteered to coach them badminton for their Special Olympic, and I really had a good time forming that bond. And then when I had a chance and opportunity to open up Postboy Cafe, right, that was where I thought what could be better than inclusive hiring.
I'll just do like a 10 to 20. Or I would have used it.
We always knew about how valuable it was to bring persons with disabilities onto the baking team, the front of house team. We knew their strengths, but we were always a bit daunted with taking that first step into hiring persons with disabilities. So the spark for us was support. That was when APSN came to us and said we will journey with you with job coaches, with on-site visits, seeing how we can optimize your operations to fit what they need. That kind of job support was really what gave us the confidence to say, let's go and give this a try.
How long before you decided?
I think maybe 2 or 3 years in only. Yeah, it took us a while to get to that point.
Weijie, what about you?
It took me a year of contemplation and planning actually.
What was the hardest part to that?
So we've learned to be more patient. How long it takes to learn a certain skill, push that forward with patience.
So while I could make the decision to bring employees in, the decision to let go of employees is not just myself to make, but it's actually the ground team who works day in, day out with them, would have a larger say in whether they should continue beyond probation period or maybe it's time to let go. That would be something that we want to be mindful of, not to affect the existing team. So I think for anyone, we do not want to throw people on the deep end. You want to provide the support, provide them with the systems, the workflows, teach them, guide them, then they can perform well.
For sure. I mean, it was very uncomfortable at the start. Even what we were talking about, the task checklist board, you need that discomfort, the uncomfortable zone to push you to come up with new ideas, like how to make the workflow clearer in the kitchen. And to all our hirees' credit, they are very patient with us as well, because it takes us longer to figure out how to teach something. How many breads have we burnt so far?
Oh, like a lot. Yeah.
Don't worry, I also burn a lot of bread. So it's patience all around for ourselves and for everybody that we work with, but it's a longer road that there is to be taken.
And of course, I'm still quite new to the scene as compared to Weijie and Matt. There's a lot of things to learn. And one of my fear is really about managing their expectation and behavior on the go. So I still have a lot of things that I have to pick up and be sensitive about. Yeah.
I would say maybe don't get discouraged if the hiring process is not like the first one you hire works out. Because hiring a PWD is really no different than hiring anybody else. And even with other hires, sometimes personality clash or alignment isn't there. So it's exactly the same. So just keep trying, yeah.
In the event, if you have one of your staff that maybe because they feel a bit overwhelmed by the crowd, like what should we do in situation like this?
Maybe we'll ask Jerwin, when you feel overwhelmed, what do you think helps you?
When the first day you have is like the bad day, then maybe tomorrow, the second day, you might try your best and show your pure mentality and pure skill, and to make sure that your overwhelming of all these bad thoughts will go away.
Is this something that you picked up from working with everyone, or is it on your own?
It's kind of both.
I think also it depends on how many staff you have during that shift. If it's really busy and you don't have anyone to manage the person, I would say, okay, take a 5-minute break on your own first. Wash your face, go to a quiet place, cool down, and then you'll come back. It's okay to leave work for a while. We cannot expect people with disabilities also to perform totally like people without disabilities. I think in some sense, accommodation need to be made. We need to ask them what are their needs. We need to provide a supportive environment so that we set them up for success. In fact, I would say this for everybody, regardless of disabilities.
And everyone has their own style, their own takes. So just on the way here, Jerwin was explaining to me how he actually prefers to be left alone. I was surprised so that he can flow, like he needs to get in the flow. I'm like, wow, that's very interesting, because I know another employee, another PWD we work with, where it's the opposite. So you need to constantly check in, like, well, what's the next step? Where are we now?
And when we have this kind of mindset whereby we don't need to treat people with disabilities separately or differently from people without disabilities, then everything becomes like this is the norm. And when it's the norm, then we don't need to think that I'm doing something extra.
We work with PWDs in a lot of different ways. So obviously in our bakery with baking, we also have their art, which we sell at the cafe. So based on their strengths, what they enjoy doing, we do have these different avenues to showcase that.
We hire people because they also want to contribute meaningfully. We don't hire out of tokenism. For us, it's like baristas, and then we have shift leaders, supervisors. So there's some progression there as well.
What keeps you choosing inclusion?
So I really enjoy my work, and my work has been revolving and centered around inclusion. I get to speak to people about it. I get to gather with like-minded people. So that is what keeps me going.
PWDs are really, really special. It's sort of like, I don't know, mining for diamonds. It's worth it because if you do find alignment and personality match with PWD, they join the team, it's like bringing a team to new heights. So I would keep searching and investing in the process because it's well worth the reward. Yeah.
It's also the bond building. Has that played a very important part between you all?
Yeah, that's something that I did not expect as you went into this inclusive hiring journey. So you see a side of your team that you did not know existed. So they are always feeding him. They're always bringing special presents for Jerwin to motivate and be like, you're doing great.
It's actually very fulfilling to me to be able to form that bond and seeing them be able to find themselves, their identity and passion in what they do, and me being able to be part of it to impact their life. You never know what you don't know, what kind of chemistry or bond you guys can form just by hiring. They are sitting on the fence because they are worried, they have their concern and fear. So why not be the one that initiate and provide that space and platform where they can step out of their comfort zone?
To the person on the fence, just give it a try. Knowing someone is going to journey with you as you start your inclusive hiring journey, knowing that there's going to be job coaches, there's going to be sort of reviews and support as you newly start working with people with special needs, that is really what pushed us to like, okay, we can take this on, let's try.
I would say speak to us, speak to SG Enable. There is support, there is help, so don't do it yourself. Yeah.
Let's have a look. Oh, wow, 新的是这样子哦，这个是新的。
This is something big for them to do, so it's like they had to take risks to do it. They were very excited to go there, but inside there are like a lot of scary stuff. So if they're afraid of something, then if they think of something that they wanted to do it and wanted to improve them, then they would actually take the risk and choose the job.
When we say PWD in my books, we don't say persons with disabilities. We actually say persons with determination.
It's like, for me, it's just the beginning. I can't wait to see when everyone or the around Singapore would actually like them, then I'll feel proud of myself.